the Sterling Heights Public Library. My name is Brent, and today we're making hummus. Super simple ingredients today. We're going to start out with some dried chickpeas. We're going to need a clove of garlic, a lemon, some tahini, a little bit of salt. We're going to use a little bit of baking soda, and we're going to top it with a little olive oil and some spices. So step one, we're going to soak our chickpeas. We got a cup of dried chickpeas here, and these here I soaked overnight. You're going to add a cup of chickpeas to about 6 cups of water. Leave them for about 8 to 12 hours. So this is what they look like when they're dried. This is the soaked one. They about triple in size when you do this. You can skip this step by using canned chickpeas, but you're still going to have to cook them. We're going to need a good sized saucepan. We're going to go ahead and add the chickpeas and the soaking liquid right to that. And then we're going to add a little bit of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon to that 6 cups of water. You don't want to use too much of this. If you use too much of it, it's going to discolor your chickpeas, and they're going to turn kind of brownish, and they're going to get a little bit of a soapy flavor. Why do we do this? It helps them cook faster. It'll cut your cooking time down significantly doing it this way. As your chickpeas come up to a bubble here, as they come up to a boil, you're going to see that there's going to be this foam that's going to show up on top. Now this isn't going to hurt anything, but it's nice to skim that off of there and get rid of it. Once you've got rid of that, you're going to let these things cook on a low simmer for probably about 45 minutes or so. You want them to be soft, not merely tender, but soft. If you are using the canned ones, make sure that you cook them until they're soft. They won't process right if they're not fully softened. Our chickpeas are done. Good way to tell that. Pick one up and squeeze it. If it crushes easily, it's ready. Another way to tell is you can see the skins are splitting here. These are nice and soft. So we're going to take these over to the sink. We're going to drain them. We're going to reserve some of the liquid. We're going to set up our food processor here. We've got the chopping blade in there. Set that on there. Put the chickpeas in here. While they're still warm, we're going to process these for about 3 minutes. You're going to have to scrape down the side of the bowl a little bit in order to keep everything in there. We're going to use some of the liquid to loosen this up too. So our garlic, we already peeled it. We got the root end off. I'm going to throw that right in there at the same time. You're going to see these things are going to kind of grind up first, and then they're going to kind of wad up into a ball. So this has been running for about 3 minutes, and you can see that it's chopped up nice, and it's kind of wadded up over here on the side a little bit. So this part's kind of important. Now, next thing we're going to add is we're going to add our tahini. Make sure you stir this before you use it, because the oil and the solids like to separate. So we've got about 1/3 cup of tahini here right now. I just want to make sure I get all that in there. What we're doing is we're incorporating those oils into our solids, and that's going to help with our texture a lot. So we'll put this back on and let it run for about another minute. Then we're going to loosen it up with some of the reserved water from the cooking. So this is what it looks like at this point. We're going to pop this back on here. We're going to use the lid, and then we're going to use the feed tube here while it's running to add some of the liquid in to loosen it up. You're not going to be able to hear me much while this is running, but you're going to add this gradually and keep an eye on the texture down in there and see how it looks. You're probably not going to need a whole cup, probably 2/3 to 3/4. You might need a little bit more. Go ahead and scrape down the sides of this to make sure everything's well incorporated. Run it again a little bit. Now, your texture on this is going to still be very unpredictable at this hot stage. You're not really going to see the true consistency until we get it down to chilled down. So if it looks pretty loose right now, it's going to thicken up. I'm going to go ahead and add some salt to this at this point. You don't typically add salt to beans while they're cooking. It has a tendency to toughen them up, and we're trying to get these things soft, so you add the salt later. We're going to add about a teaspoon. And blend that in. So this is what it looks like at this stage. We're going to go ahead, we're going to pull this out of here, put it in a bowl, and we're going to chill it for about 45 minutes to an hour until it cools off. Now this has been cooling in the refrigerator for about an hour, and as loose as that was earlier, it stiffened up quite a bit. So I bet you thought we forgot about that lemon juice, right? So this is the juice of a whole lemon. It's about 1/3 of a cup. And I'm going to go ahead and mix that in with a hand blender. And by doing this cold, we're going to retain a lot of the brightness of that fresh lemon juice. We're also going to get a really nice smooth consistency to this. It's an interesting little trick, and it works pretty well. So that's loosened up nice. I'll go ahead and give it a quick taste. Seasoning's just about right on that. So I'm going to take a moment, put it in a dish, and show you how to garnish it. So we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of a swirl. Nice drizzle of oil. We're going to hit it with a little bit of paprika. And a little bit of ground sumac. This has got a nice flavor, kind of brings out that lemon nice. You can use other spices if you want. This is one way to garnish this. There's a whole bunch of ways to make hummus, but this one works really well for me. Serve it with whatever you like. I like pita chips. Give this a try. I think you'll like it.